So today I'm covering what I believe to be the best first Pokemon to catch in every mainline Pokemon game, based on how well that Pokemon matches up against the early game and beyond. The only rule is that the Pokemon must be obtainable before beating the first gym. We begin with red, blue, and yellow, and the main priority is finding something that will help against Brock. Sure, he's a pushover with Bulbasaur or Squirtle, but with Charmander or Pikachu, you'll want or need help. While you can find long-term useful Pokemon early, such as Nidoran Male for an eventual Nidoking, or Spearow for an eventual Fearow, you can find those Pokemon again later, and don't really need them now since they're bad against Brock. Nidoran does get Double Kick at a low level in yellow, but it's not stab, and Onix's defense is through the roof. It's literally base 160, the second highest in all of Gen 1, and still in the top 15 to this day. Yellow version does have Mankey on Route 22, which gives you a stab fighting move for the rock-type fight, but again, Onix's defense is insane. But on the flip side, its base special stat, special attack and special defense for just one stat in Gen 1, is only 30, tied for the 9th worst in Gen 1 alongside Sandshrew, Rhyhorn, and Brock's other Pokemon, Geodude. So all you really need to beat Brock is a strong special move that is not resisted. And there is one non-starter Pokemon that can give you that. The best first Pokemon to catch is Caterpie or Metapod. Not for them, but for Butterfree. Metapod evolves into Butterfree at the low level of 10. That Butterfree will then get Confusion, a 50 power special move, at level 10 or 12 depending on the game. And Butterfree's special stat is 80, almost triple Onix's. You also might Brock's Pokemon do not know any rock moves. Beyond that, Butterfree is unlikely to stick around on your final team, but in the interim, its various status powders can come in handy, especially Sleep Powder. In Gen 1, Sleep could last up to a horrifying 7 turns, and the Pokemon didn't even get to act on the turn it woke up. Use it to beat Brock, then as an anesthesiologist for a while. Sounds pretty good to me. Next is Gold, Silver, and Crystal. These games have the lowest level gym leader in all of Pokemon, with Falkner's Ace being just level 9. So as you might imagine, there aren't that many options. However, there is still a clear winner. That Pokemon is Bellsprout, found pretty easily in the routes neighboring the city. This might confuse you at first, since grass is not particularly helpful against the flying and bug gyms, the first two. But you're not using the Bellsprout. A man in Violet City will trade your Bellsprout for an Onix named Rocky, giving you one of the strongest Pokemon possible this early in the game. It won't have a rock move until level 14 and is technically weak to Falkner's Mudslaps, but remember, insane defense. It is a stone wall that they will struggle to kill. Plus it starts out knowing Screech, a useful defense dropping move to make up for its low attack. Beyond Falkner, it'll have a rock move for Bugsy's Bugs, and crucially, while Whitney's Miltank can unfortunately attract it, Onix still resists all of her moves. Rocky is not good enough to remain on your team as just an Onix, but if you go through the unfortunate annoyances of getting a Metal Coat off a Wild Magnemite, trade evolving it, and using the Iron Tail and Earthquake TMs to give it good moves, you'll have a very strong Steelix, which is absolutely an endgame worthy Pokemon. In Gen 2, it has 10 resistances, 2 immunities, and 4 weaknesses. But half of those weaknesses are always physical, and thus have to contend with its massive defense. And remember, it's a traded Pokemon. The whole time, it's getting boosted experience. Rocky the Onix is absolutely your best first catch in Generation 2. Okay, I guess Bellsprout technically is the first catch. But like, you're using the Onix, they're gonna share the trophy. Side note, if you're wondering why I did not discuss Mareep, Gen 2 actually blocks your path to Mareep's Grass on Route 32 until after you beat the first gym. Next is Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. This choice is quite tricky because several of the front runners overlap their typings with starters. This does not disqualify them, but it is a factor I have to consider. For example, I think Shroomish is great. Its grass type can help with Roxanne, Effect Spore can get you out of a bind, and it gets Leech Seed, an incredible move very early. But of course it overlaps with Trico, and eventually Blaziken with fighting as Breloom. Ruby and Sapphire, but not Emerald, have an huge attack and low evolution level, and getting one with boosted experience that you can use for Roxanne, Norman, Sydney, Glacia, and Steven is huge. Mach-Kit is also guaranteed Guts, a much better ability for Hariyama than Thick Fat. However, the fighting type obviously overlaps with Combuskin and Blaziken. Finally, there's two psychic types to consider, Ralts and Abra. Gardevoir is a staple of many Hoenn teams, and Route 102 is the only place to get Ralts. I do personally think Alakazam is a bit better though, but Abra is only available before the first gym in Emerald, found on Route 116. It's a tough call for sure, but I think despite the Blaziken overlap, I have to say that Slack Off is the best to catch, so you can trade it for Mach-Kit the Makuhita. Hariyama is simply fantastic, and even if you pick Torchic, having it on your team for the Norman battle will be huge, since you'll still only have Combuskin at that point. Also, Blaziken cannot learn Belly Drum, which is one of my favorite moves. Belly Drum maxes your attack stat to +6 in exchange for having HP. And if you just potion it back up, Hariyama can now sweep most anything. That's just in Ruby and Sapphire though. In Emerald, my choice is Abra, so you have a strong, fast psychic type for the sometimes challenging Brawly battle. I chose it over Ralts because you can have Kadabra with base 120 special attack and 105 speed at just level 16. Ralts doesn't evolve to Kirlia until level 20, and Kirlia's base stat total is only 278. Next is Fire Red and Leaf Green. And while my priority is the same, ensuring you have a way to beat Brock even if you choose Charmander, my choice is not the same. That is because Onix actually has a rock move now, and it will hit Butterfree so hard that it might actually squash it. However, while Butterfree was nerfed, the runner-up was actually buffed to the point of being the new winner. That Pokemon is Mankey. Mankey is found on Route 22 still, and now resists the rock move that Onix will use. But more importantly, the fighting move it has is Low Kick. This is the same as before, but in Gen 1, Low Kick was a 50 power move with 90% accuracy and a 30% chance to flinch. Not awful, but not stellar against a massive defense Onix. But starting in Gen 3, Low Kick's power changes based on the target's weight. Onix weighs 463 pounds, which means Low Kick is 120 base power against it. That is an insanely strong move with no drawbacks. Primeape is not great long term, there's no Rage Fist Annihilate, and fighting isn't that great in Kanto anyways, but if you need help getting past the Rock Snake wall, then Low Kick Mankey is a great way to do that. Also, I should note that while in a previous video I named Nidoking the best Fire Red Leaf Green team member, and Nidoran Male does learn Double Kick, you cannot get it before Brock like you could in Gen 1, so it was never a contestant for Gen 3 in this video. Next is Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and this is the easiest choice so far. Most Pokemon games feature an early route normal type, an early route bug, and a regional bird. Prior to Sinnoh, all of those were underwhelming at best, at least in the long term. Then Sinnoh added Starly. Starly is found on the literal first route of the game and evolves at the pleasantly low level of just 14. As Staravia, it gets Intimidate, one of the best abilities in the game. Then it becomes Staraptor with base 100 speed and 120 attack, and access to the incredible move, Close Combat. Even without Stab, this move is so strong on such a strong Pokemon that you can get away with not even having a fighting type on your team. With the combo of Flying Offense and Close Combat, your little Starly can go on to excel in the Grass Gym, Fighting Gym, Steel Gym, Ice Gym, and Bug Elite 4. Plus, you need a flyer on your team anyways. This is still the era of 8 gems, and not having access to fly at all times is super annoying. And Staraptor is one of the best flyers ever made. If you're not using Staraptor in Sinnoh, you're either doing something wrong or are choosing not to for variety or a challenge. It's the best team member outside your starter, and it just happens to be found on the first route of the game.
Guys, for over 7 years of promoting artists on Spotify, doing over 35,000 campaigns, I believe there's one insight that can take you from zero to hero on Spotify. We focus on your listeners as much as your streams. Because if that same listener that we have cultivated in our playlist is hearing many of your songs that you are promoting, then your stream to listener ratio is beautiful. Spotify loves it. It shows that people are engaged, people are checking your catalog, getting you more streams, all the Discover Weeklies, all the release radars, even editorials that we effectively see every single day from artists in our pipeline come from this exact methodology. We make it a guaranteed placement because we know that it's valuable that you have streams and you have traffic going to your song and your profile. There's so many playlists out there ready to get you no matter what you make, as long as it's good. So if you're ready to get heard by people that care, then tap in and get a campaign today. Let's begin this relationship on a strong point and get you heard. I'll see you on the other end.
When you've got smoke-free satisfaction, you've got the freedom to do things your way. Get $20 off 5 cans of Zyn when you take the Zyn 10 challenge. Try it for 10 days. Smoke-free. Hands-free. Find your freedom. Claim $20 off your first 5 cans of Zyn when you take the Zyn 10 challenge. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Next is Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and there's been a big change from Gen 2. Mareep is now obtainable before Faulkner. This gives you an electric type for the Flying Gym and Bugsy's Scyther. Onyx got some buffs too though. It now gets Rock Throw sooner, and Steelix doesn't need a TM for Iron Tail. Both are really useful and worthy team members, but I'm gonna keep Rocky the Onyx, for getting technical the Bellsprout you need to trade for it, as the winner. Assuming you're willing to get a metal coat from a wild Magnemite and then trade a ball. I know it's very annoying, but I will deal with annoyances for power.
By the way, if you're playing anything on our emulator, you can get rid of trade evolutions with a future.
Hey, what's up?
While the Mareep line is good against
I don't know what
Gen 1 and
AFK
2,
means.
it's hit much harder by Miltank. Meanwhile, Onyx is a really strong wall against all of the first 3 gyms, and will have stab super effective damage for the first 2. And then Steelix is just simply so powerful, extremely strong, and hard to kill. Also, again, Rocky is an in-game trade. Boosted experience is a pretty big deal.
Ha-ha! It is I, Grunted Boy, and it is back to school season, which means...
The nightmares about my teeth falling out at prom get worse.
What? No. Jesus. It means you can get a discount on Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic, the sponsor of today's video. 32 hours of battery life with the case, a quick charge
What do you
function
mean?
that gives you 90 minutes of usage with just 10 minutes of charge, and active noise cancellation. Perfect for getting into the zone while studying.
I also like the option to switch to awareness mode, so if I'm out somewhere, like on a walk where I need to be aware of my surroundings, I can be. Overall, they sound so good and are just so straightforward and easy. I use mine literally every day.
Ooh, and have you seen the new colors? I normally go for black everything, but I'm thinking about trying out cool mint. You know, change up my style for the new school year.
School year? Grumpy boy, you're 30.
I'm getting a master's degree. In crime.
You mean criminal justice?
Nope.
Bye.
Just crime. Click the link in the description below or go to buyraycon.com/MNJTV to get 20% off site-wide. That's buyraycon.com/MNJTV.
Well, good luck on your master's degree.
Why, thank you. And good luck with your teeth nightmares. Keep going to therapy, too. Ta-ta!
Next is Black and White. No other Pokemon game has fewer pre-Gym 1 Pokemon. It's actually insane. There are so few that I will name all of them right now. You can get your starter, Hatchrat, Lillipup, Purloin, and the Elemental Monkey, weak to your starter, but strong against the gym. That's it. That's the whole list. You cannot make a full team of 6 Pokemon without doubling up on species. This is especially brutal, considering that the Striaton Gym will always be strong against your starter. Therefore, the best first Pokemon to catch is whichever monkey you get. You don't technically catch it, it's a gift, but like, catch can be a synonym for obtain. Pansage, Pansear, and Panpour are the winners for the sole reason that they can help you just get past the first gym and start building an actual team. I do not care if you never use them again, just monkey your way out of this early game prison. Black 2 and White 2 provide significantly more options, but unfortunately none of them really impress me. Riolu is found in Flockacy Ranch, and thanks to its fighting type, it is seemingly strong against the first gym, which is normal. Steel fighting Lucario is certainly very useful once you can get it evolved. However, for Riolu to get a fighting move, you have to out-level the first gym, so it's only somewhat helpful, and then you have 2 back-to-back gyms that resist fighting. Plus, it overlaps with Pigment. Mareep is a solid electric type, but you don't need electric for the first gym, and the Verbank complex right after has Magnemite, which I think is better. I'm not thrilled about it, but my pick is Riolu. It will be a good team member for 2 of the starters, and still a solid one if you pick Tepig, since despite their overlap in fighting, Lucario and Emboar's only weakness overlap is ground. The friendship evolution could be annoying, but leveling up is the most effective friendship booster, so catching Riolu at such a low level should speed up that process. Next is X and Y, and a runner-up I want to mention is Bunnelby to do a trade in Santaloon for a Farfetch'd named Quacklin. That's fantastic. Quacklin will dog-walk the first gym, the Bug Gym, but its usefulness falls off pretty quickly after that. Farfetch'd is, after all, a very terrible Pokemon. My pick for the winner is actually Riolu again. It's found on Route 22, just east of Santaloon City, and while it won't be any help in the first gym, you can begin the process of boosting its friendship at level 6 or 7. Grant, the rock leader, isn't until level 25, so you might have a steel-fighting Lucario for the second gym. And then, of course, Mega Lucario. I won't go into too much detail about this. I discussed it in my best gift Pokemon in every game video, so you can't just watch that. But in short, Mega Lucario is the most broken playthrough Pokemon ever. Its stats and typing and ability simply destroy everything it comes up against. Now you could of course just use the gift Lucario that Karina gives you, but if you catch Riolu early, you can use it for Grant. Additionally, while Lucario overlaps with Chestnut's fighting type, you won't have a Chestnut for Grant. And in their final forms, they only share a weakness to fire. Next is Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Gardevoir is better now thanks to Fairy, but the types that Fairy is good against that are not already weak to Psychic, those being Dark and Dragon, are not until the League. Additionally, Abra is after the first gym again, so it cannot win like it did in Emerald. Therefore, my winner is the same as Ruby and Sapphire. Slackoth, so you can trade it for Mocket the Makuhita, which was actually buffed. Gen 3 Mocket had poor IVs and a neutral nature, but Gen 6 Mocket has a perfect attack IV and an attack boosting nature. Also, Hariyama now gets Belly Drum at only level 26. Even if you plan to move on from it once you have Blaziken, this boosted experience Hariyama is simply too good. Also, quick tangent before we move on to the next game. I discovered something while writing this section that I absolutely must tell you about. In every game since the move was introduced, Hariyama has Brine as a level 1 move. This confused me when I saw it because Brine is a special water attack, and every other Pokemon that learns it is water type, at least partially aquatic, or Mew, which learns all TM moves. So why does Hariyama get it in its level up Sweat? It's Sweat. Sweat is salt water, and thus brine. Hariyama sweats so much that it can literally damage foes with it. That is as funny as it is disgusting. Next is Sun and Moon, which of course do not have gyms, so instead I'm looking at Pokemon obtainable before the first major battle, the Totem Gumshoos or Alolan Raticate. There are a lot of options, but I don't really think any of them are exceptional. Some are good for the Totem, but not for Hala, or vice versa, and others are solid Pokemon, but overlap with starters and don't really shine until later. Therefore, I think the best Pokemon is one that is all-around good, doesn't overlap starters, and has good matchups against both some early game battles and some later ones. And my pick is... Peck. See what I did there? Peck is another regional bird, and thus caught very early, on the first route of the game. And the line is good because it evolves quickly, into Trumbeak at just 14, and to Cannon at just 28. While they are unfortunately quite slow, you can kind of get around that with early access to the Quick Claw, and then you can enjoy their high attack. To Cannons is 120. They also have a good ability. If you get one with Skill Link, which maxes the number of hits for multi-hit moves, that gives you Stab Fury attack that will be 75 power plus stab, assuming it doesn't miss, along with 125 power Bullet Seed later, and eventually Rock Blast from the move tutor. It also has a surprisingly wide move pool of physical coverage moves. I also selected it because flying's a generally good type in Alola. And everywhere else, go Team Sky! Hala is the immediate good matchup, and you should have Trumbeak by that point, but then it goes on to help with the Grass Trial, Guzma's Bugs, the Totem Kamo-O, and Hala again in the lead. Additionally, Toucannon's normal flying typing is defensively good against the Ghost Trial and Hapu's ground types. It's not outrageously amazing, but it's a solid team member that you can get very early.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield.
What was that?
No, but you can go to SafeLife.com and get it fixed now and pay later. Awesome. SafeLife can come to you for free. Don't wait. Get it fixed now and pay later at SafeLife.com.
Safe Life Repair, Safe Life Replace.
Or new AGE Ultra Serum from SkinCeuticals tightens 4 key areas from face to neck. Discover now.
Gamefly is the best way to try new games. Rent it, love it, buy it at a discount, or send it back. Keep the games you love at a great discount. You can visit Gamefly.com for your free 30.
Things are very different in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, though. A bunch of new Pokemon were added, expanding your options even more, but one of them in particular is actually insane. The first Pokemon you should catch is Spearow on Route 2, but just so you can do another in-game trade. I know there's a lot of these in this video, but a lot of them are good. In the Route 2 Pokemon Center, a girl would like a Spearow in exchange for a freaking Hawlucha! Yes! Hawlucha! A Pokemon with a base stat total of 500 before the first fight of the game. And that first battle is weak to fighting. And then the second is weak to flying. Hawlucha can solo the first 2 boss fights of the game. But it goes so much farther than that. Cha, I realize I didn't mention, that is the name of this awesome Hawlucha, has an offensive advantage against the Totem Araquanid, Totem Lurantis, Olivia's Rock types, the Totem Togedemaru, Guzma's Bug types, Nanu's Dark types, the Totem Kamo-O, the Totem Rabambi, and Moraine and Olivia. Weak to some of those, like it is weak to Electric and also Rock, but still, that's most of the fights in the game! You can catch Wild Hawlucha on Route 3, but Cha is better because you can use it for the Totem Gumshoe's Eradicate, it gets boosted experience, and it has a perfect attack IV and an attack boosting nature. Cha the Hawlucha is easily the best Pokemon for an Ultra Alola team, and I think it is very weird that this girl wanted to get rid of him. What, for a Spearow? That is a much worse bird. Next is Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which changed the Kanto games a lot more than just adding janky motion controls. For one, you start with either Pikachu or Eevee, but they're much more powerful than normal ones, and they have double kick for Brock. Also, the early game spawns have changed somewhat. This is made apparent by the fact that the gym attendant won't even let you into the gym if you don't have a grass or water type in your party. Yeah, clearly the difficulty is quite a bit lower now. This quest wouldn't actually be possible in the older games unless you started with Bulbasaur or Squirtle. It's also odd that he says grass or water because there are no wild water types before Gym 1. So you need a grass type. This works pretty well though actually, since grass will be useful for both Brock and Misty. But which grass type to pick? Let's Go Pikachu only has Oddish, while Let's Go Eevee only has Bellsprout, but neither of these matter here, because the best option is by far Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is now found wild in Viridian Forest as a special spawn, meaning it is almost impossible to find without a catch combo, but it spawns quite consistently if you have one at a battle level. Alright, so I guess it's probably not going to be the first one you, like, actually catch, but it's the first one you're going to use, and that's close enough. Bulbasaur is already considered the best starter in the older Kanto games, so of course it's still a spectacular team member when you can get it just slightly later. It beats Brock, Misty, and Giovanni, both outside and inside his gym, and it's defensively strong against Lieutenant Surge and Erica. Plus, now that Fairy exists, its poison type will be useful for any you run into. As icing on the cake, you'll want an original Kanto starter on your team in general, because after beating Blaine, you get the Mega Stones for Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, meaning Mega Venusaur for Gym 8 and the League. Next is Sword and Shield, which are, frankly, insane. Let's first address the Caparaja in the room, Dynamax Adventures. I've explained this before, so I'll try to keep it brief. If you have the DLC, you can go to the Crown Tundra, lose the battle to Peony, go to the Max Lair, run through a Dynamax adventure using rental Pokemon, catch a level 70 Suicune, since this feature bypasses the catch level limit, and steamroll the entire game with it. So technically, Suicune would be the best first Pokemon to catch. But, what if you don't have the DLC, or you don't want to break the game? Then you have an absurd amount of options. Before the first gym, there's routes 1 through 4, the Slumbering Weld, Galar Mine number 1, and the entire wild area. Okay, not the entire wild area. A lot of the places don't spawn Pokemon weak enough for you to catch without having a gym badge. But, like, still the spawns change every day. There are the lasers. Like, it's so much. All in all, there's like 70 different Pokemon you can get before Gym 1. So how am I possibly going to choose the best one? Well, it's actually quite simple. You see, you just get something that you can get really, really early. That's really good. And it's Rookidee. Rookidee can actually be the literal first Pokemon you catch on Route 1. And it is yet another stellar regional bird. Flying is great early, since the first gym is grass, the third has a bug type, and if you're playing Sword, the fourth is fighting type. But in addition to this, Rookidee has a strategy that is one of the most impressive that I've ever seen. Rookidee gets Power Trip at just level 4, a dark move that's only 20 power, but gains 20 power for each positive stat boost the user has. It's a physical dark type stored power. This move works great on Pokemon that can boost their own stats, and just 4 levels later, Rookidee gets Home Claws, boosting its attack and accuracy by 1 stage each. So if you use Home Claws twice, Power Trip is now 100 power. And since you're at +2 attack, it's effectively 200 power. Only Pokemon that resist Dark can really survive it, and if it's weak to Dark, like Beed's Pokemon are, then you can sweep through him with just 1 Home Claws. And that's just the early game. Rookidee eventually becomes Corviknight, which gains Steel and ends up with incredible typing. Only weak to Fire and Electric, while having 8 resistances and 2 immunities. If you evolve it before Opal's Gym, it can beat the Fairy Gym, Rock Gym, and Ice Gym, while being immune to Raihan's Sandstorm. Plus, it's a Steel type. Even if it's not offensively strong, there's a high chance it's going to resist all of your opponent's moves. So Rookidee wins without the DLC, Suicune with it. But Rookidee wins no matter what, in my heart. Next is Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which I'll keep short. It's Starly again. The changes from Gen 4 are so minimal that it doesn't affect my answer. Then we have Legends Arceus. And as I've said before, I don't think the team you use really matters that much. Most of the major combat is dodge, roll, and try not to die. So I'm simply picking a Pokemon to help you get through the early game, that being Weasel. It's the most accessible early water type, and the Noble Cleavor is weak to water. Even if you picked Oshawott, it'll be nice to have a backup. Finally is Scarlet and Violet, where your options are the entire game. It's open world, and the gyms can be done in any order, so, oh god. I'm just kidding. There's actually a pretty straightforward solution to this. I'm just looking at Pokemon in the areas before Mesa Goza, specifically South Province Area 1. This is before you can ride Koraidon or Miraidon, and it's a true tutorial area. While some of the Pokemon here will be strong eventually, most are. But there is one Pokemon that is outrageously powerful from the very beginning. Flamigo. Flamigo has a base stat total of 500 with a base speed of 90 and a base attack of 115. And you can get it as low as level 4. By level 12, it'll have stab moves for both of its types, and like we saw with Hawlucha, flying and fighting just so happens to be an amazing offensive combo. If you didn't notice, most of the Pokemon I've selected in this video have been flying type, fighting type, or both. Together, fighting and flying beat the first 2 gyms, 2 of the first 3 Titans, and the first Team Star Camp. Flamigo bodies the early game with fully evolved stats, while most Pokemon won't be anywhere close to that. And after that, it excels in the normal gym, both ground Titans, since Great Tusk is weak to flying and Iron Treads is weak to fighting, the Ice Gym, and the Fighting Team Star Camp. If you get one with Scrappy, it can even help in the Ghost Gym. And yes, it does eventually overlap with Quackquavel, but Quaxley doesn't get fighting until its final form. Even if you pick Quaxley and ditch Flamigo later, Flamigo is so fantastic in the early game that passing it up would be a mistake. Thanks so much for watching. If you watched all the way through, then consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you want to see another similar video of mine, check out my video where I figured out the best pseudo-legendary Pokemon to use on your team in every mainline Pokemon game.
Over 15 months, independent R&B artist Twee's monthly active listeners grew over 300%. She reached fans in 178 countries, had her music saved by 230,000 listeners, and had 210,000 playlist ads. In this video, we'll see how Twee's team used the tools Discovery Mode and Marquee as part of a multi-release rollout campaign to help reach more listeners and grow her audience. Let's meet Twee.
Hi everyone, I'm Twee. I'm a singer-songwriter from the Bay Area. I've been an artist for about 8 to 9 years. I feel like the last year or so, I've been able to kind of like see everything come to the forefront of like all my hard.
Stop by Mr. Pokemon's house. He unfortunately passed away, but his son and his daughter are living here now and are continuing his work. And they even ended up giving me a Pokemon egg so that I could hatch it. I then went out and ended up running into a weird electric dog Pokemon and captured my next team member, Morlo. With this mushroom by my side, I eventually reached Violet City, where we find out that inside of the Pokemon centers, there are nurses of joy. And not those behind the counter. I'm talking about these ones. They have specific teams for you to grind on, which is always something I love, as you don't have to go out into the grass and grind for hours. While I was exploring around some more, Shane ended up calling me and complained about me telling Mom that he was bullying me. He told me to stop being such a baby and to learn to stick up for myself, and with those wise words in mind, I was ready to grow. By making a quick stop at the supply shop, here you can get all of the EP boosting items you need and some ability patches so you can make your Pokemon as overpowered as possible. However, we were broke and needed money to buy these, so I went to the Sprout Tower to beat up some cultists and take their money. It's pretty cool to see that even 20 years later, the costumes of this tower are still the same, but something even cooler happened while I was inside, namely my Cyndaquil evolved into Lava. At the top, we beat up the new Sage Elder who had the exact same team of morals as the old one, and as a reward this time, we get the XP share. After capturing a Misdreavus inside the tower, I ended up going to the local gym, who is still being led by the flying-type leader, Faulkner. Only this time, he seems to have gained a lot of weight. The mental struggles of being the first gym leader, being beaten by every trainer that comes around, have really taken a toll on his mental state. That's how he came to look like this. But he still has some fight in him and says that his losing streak is going to end right here, right now. He even changed up his team a bit, adding a Pikipek and a Hoothoot to his already existing Pidgeotto. But these were nothing my Kilova couldn't turn into burnt chicken with his embers. After he hands me the Zephyr badge, he starts to realize that his life can't go on like this, as he's going to start a training program to lose weight and get stronger. And once he's back to his old self that he loved, he's going to challenge me again and win. After wishing him a ton of luck with that journey, I headed to the ruins of Alph myself, where we fought a couple of tourists and chased them out of the ruins. After a little bit of investigating of my own, I ended up falling into a pit trap, which led me straight to Professor Elm's son, Oliver. We do some quick introductions and hand over his notebook again, and considering that he's researching legendary Pokemon, we tell him about our encounter with Raikou. He's a little jealous that he wasn't the one who encountered it, but also tells us that he's here to research those kind of Pokemon by translating all of the unknown in scriptures. In the middle of his sentence, however, the earth starts shaking and we end up falling down another floor, revealing a hidden room that turned out to be a catacomb. And so Oliver starts to think that unknown are actually resurrected human beings. A huge discovery that could lead to a lot of new findings, so he's going to stay here and research, and adds my number into his phone so he can call me whenever something special happens. He also gave me the HM for cut, which allowed me to move on to Union Cave, a place where time seemingly stood still as everything was the same except for the encounters. That's why I captured myself on a Alolan Diglett, because steel types are always going to be useful. After a few minutes, I already made it out of the cave and got approached by a shady man. He wanted to sell me a gold nugget for the enticingly low price of just 1,000 Pokédollars, which meant that if I could sell it, I could make a profit, so I just went for it. But I would quickly regret this, as it ended up being a fake. I tried to chase the man down to get my money back, but he was long gone. This chase did lead me to Azalea Town, where the Slowpoke well was still going strong and thriving. However, the rest of this place had seen a major upgrade, with new houses, but also our first encounter with this region's new evil team, Team Phoenix. They're currently blocking the way for us and are ready to raid the local Pokeball factory. That's right, Kurt, the Pokeball maker that's normally here 20 years ago, sold his house and went all out on the Pokeball business side. Hence why this huge Pokeball factory is here now and even replaced his old residence. It's great to see a good man thrive though. Kurt really deserved this. However, it's a good thing we weren't too late for this Phoenix attack, as we started taking out grunts left, right, and center. After most of them are defeated, I end up finding their admin, who is keeping all the employees hostage. He demands that they hand over Master Balls because he knows they're being created here, but luckily for me and the rest of the region's sake, the employees are not willing to hand them over. I interfere with the conversation, but the admin isn't having any of it and attacks me with his Houndour and Sneasel. Once both are taken out with Kilava and Misdreavus' efforts, they leave the factory by saying that
Team Phoenix will always rise back up, just like a phoenix from the ashes.
However, for now, the residents of the Pokemon Factory and Azalea Town are free, and as a thank you, we get a couple of Quick Balls and the ability to buy Master Balls for 50k Pokédollars, which is a big discount. As I went to the Slowpoke well, I ended up finding the TN for Flash there and headed back outside to take on the local gym. But just when I'm about to enter, my brother Chase comes out and is like,
I should be beating you up for telling Mom, but I'm actually in a good mood because I just defeated the gym, so I'll let you off the hook for now.
and if my brother can beat this gym, I can do it too. But I ended up being surprised because the gym leader was not Bugsy anymore. He's been changed with this little girl called Alicia, and her gym challenge is hide and seek. You have to search every object in the room until you eventually find her under a table. She will then return to her regular throne where you can fight her for the badge. But watch out, because she's no pushover as she specializes in berry types. She leads off with an Azumarill that first gets sleep powdered by my Morlul, and as I start spamming Mega Drains, I eventually realize that my little Toadstool is out of its league. As it gets taken out, I bring in Misdreavus, who can Psywave it a couple of times to force out the next Pokemon, Mimikyu. On the little Cloth Pikachu, I end up using a combination of my Diglett's Metal Claw and Kilava's Flame Wheel. Once it gets burned up, we also end up taking out Mawa with Flame Wheel and use 6 smoke screens on the final Pokemon Sylveon to lower its accuracy. This gives Mightyena the opportunity to do enough damage to take it out and wins me the battle to get the Sparkle badge. With that under my belt, I decide to hit the Ilex Forest, where our next destination is the Celebi Shrine. After interacting with it, I end up seeing the little green mythical Pokemon, and it sends me back in time. But my character doesn't really seem to notice, as he ends up running into Silver, who throws him to the side. But as we enter Azalea, we see that a lot of things are different. Like there's a house where the Pokeball factory is supposed to be, and I even run into a mysterious trainer named Gold that doesn't say a single word. But from his expression alone, we can see that he wants a battle. We quickly wipe the floor with his Ampharos, Quagsire, and Kilava like it's nothing, and when he walks off, Celebi ends up taking me back to the regular world. But my actions didn't go unnoticed, as some Team Phoenix grunts saw what happened and now want Celebi for themselves. But we can't let them take our little green friend, so we scare them out of the forest and start the roads to Goldenrod City. But before before we wrap.
Hey everyone. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. Not gonna lie, but let's get it started. All right. You guys have fun. Make sure you tell everyone to subscribe. I have things to do, but it's gonna be on Skibbity Toilet for you guys. Hey, what's up? We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers. We just hit 3,300. So we need 1,700 more to go. Let's go. Yep, we're watching it from the beginning again. Let's go.
Cause my style is
On Platinum removes 99% of grease. It's the GOAT. And that's coming from a duck. The better grease getter.
At Great Wolf Lodge, there's excitement in every slide, adventures waiting to begin, and dance parties every night. So bring your pack together and book your stay today and strengthen the pack.
Still taking yours?
Every day.
Nature Made, clinically studied probiotics.
New users can now get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of only $34.50 per month to watch every game every Sunday all in one place with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up now. Terms and embargoes apply.
A real-world experience for the world of music and audio at Full Sail University. Recording, producing, composing, live events, and more. Get hands-on at our Florida campus in studios, labs, and performance venues. Or from your own home studio through an online degree. Full Sail University. Start here. fullsail.edu.
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot. What do you want? What do you want to watch? Okay, just remind me next time.
Problem isn't your machine. It's likely your detergent. I recommend switching to Cascade Platinum Plus. These pods dissolve completely and have Dawn, breaking down up to 100% of tough stuck-on foods. Cascade Platinum Plus. Award-winning service designed to keep you rolling.
I used to struggle with dandruff, but now I use Head & Shoulders every wash. Well, because the active ingredient in Head & Shoulders fights off the microbes that cause dandruff.
Where do you think you're going?
See? No flakes down here.
Make every wash count.
ProPlan. Fuel for life. Because exceptional nutrition fuels more than the days in your life. It fuels the life in your days. Explore now.
If you're a picky eater like me, stop scrolling. My humans have let me try a bunch of new food from Chewy because they have fast free shipping and free return. I mean, kibble's great and all, but it's so much better when I have a little something on top. And listen, I can be very indecisive. Call it picky, whatever, but at least with Chewy, I know that my options are endless. Plus, it's super convenient because everything from my kibble to my toppers gets delivered right to my door, so it's stress-free for my humans, and I get everything I need when I need it.
I got you. Thank you. I don't know what this is, but yeah, this is the same duck that I usually have on the streams with me. She's gotten a lot bigger though.
Your home is your happy place until you come back to bad odors. Use Febreze plug-in. It has a microchip that alternates between 2 scents to fight odors and provide freshness for up to 50 days. Try Febreze Plug.
Thank you.
They call it love.
I've actually been switching up my content, and I do a lot of content with her. Just like little update videos and like little shorts of her all the time.
Whoa, Snowball have the new iPhone 16e. It lets you clean up photos with Apple.
We'll probably do it in a little bit. I just gotta finish sweeping real quick. Almost knocked down my camera.
New Swiffer Mop Deluxe is made for small spaces. The upgraded strip has 75% more scrubbing power. And with the new locking head, getting into tight spaces is simple.
Can I borrow it?
The all-new Swiffer Mop Deluxe, the mother of all cleans.
Progressive's Up-Payment program provides down payment assistance for first-generation home buyers. Because we believe everyone should have the access and opportunity to own a home.
For over 130 years, Strayer University has been making education affordable and attainable.
Fill your bagel? Of course. Fill your potatoes, eggs, and pasta? Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
Jen loved her game flings. Then Brad showed up with game rinse and beads. When they mixed their scents, they discovered they were scent mates. Smells like it's gonna last. Mix, match, more happy with game.
Try Crest 3D White. Finally, a daily whitening toothpaste for whiter teeth in one day.
Real strength isn't pushing through pain, it's treating it. When there's no pain, there's more gain. Advil targets pain caused by inflammation for fast, strong relief.
Murder drones.
autonomous robots helping humans mine exoplanets for our interstellar parent company, JC Jensen, in space. Yeah, we were mistreated in the name of Windex, but it's not like we revolted and killed all humans or anything. Mostly because they handled that just fine all by themselves. With biological life wiped from the planet, we found it pretty easy to pick up where they left off. We finally had a future, all to ourselves. Unfortunately, our parent company didn't exactly love the concept of runaway AI. What have our parents done for the past forever while those things build us fire of corpses? Hide under the ice behind 3 stupid doors? It's like we're waiting for an inciting incident. Anyway, that's why my project is this sick as hell railgun.
Not the vibe.
Easy, morons. It doesn't work. Yet. It doesn't work yet. Who said it doesn't work? Maybe it does.
Uzi, the homework was a word problem about buying watermelons.
Oh, and this magnetically amplified photon converter doesn't count?
No. Plus, repressed emotional baggage was only worth 2 points on the rubric. And is it supposed to be that color?
Alright, let's take a look.
Ew, it didn't kill her.
Classic toxic masculinity, Chad. That's never gonna end up problematic. Oh, wow. Uzi? I heard you,
I'm an angsty teen fad, bite me. Also, how do you know my name? People willingly talk to you.
Well, I'd say everyone knows Khan's daughter, but, then you might blow the other half of your face off.
Crippling daddy issues, hilarious. What are you in for? Testosterone too hard?
That can happen? Awesome. Hey, those bandages look pretty badass.
Oh. Ew. Gross, I hate that you said that.
So, what's the,
Because hell, railgun? Sci-fi nonsense, that super works. I'm sneaking to the murder drone there tonight to get the last spare part I need to save the world with it and earn my dad's respect and stuff. But mostly the world part.
Oh, but doesn't your dad make awesome doors so we don't have to, do that scary sounding emotionally repressed stuff you just said?
No more feedback on my repression today!
No, I'm sorry. I didn't think.
Bite me! I'm not mad at you, by the way, just generally hormonal. on for school? A big old door. Just like what my old man built. I want to join the WDF and hide behind doors like cowards while playing cards and stuff.
Well, we don't just play cards. Con, can you grab a fresh pack? We literally only play cards so much that the numbers are faded. Oh, hey, Uzi. Well, when you build doors, oh good. Good doors. Good doors. There's no need to fight. Uzi, this is great news. Here, the wrench I used to tighten bolts on my first door prototypes. And to put your mother out of your misery when the murder drones got to her with their nanite acid. I want you to have it.
Neat. Therapy is fun.
Guys, my daughter is into doors. Come on, Flash. She's gonna be outside for a bit to examine the exterior of door 1. Your door-specific destiny awaits.
Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna leave then, because this worked so really well. Go doors!
They grow up so fast.
Oh. They said pirating all that anime was useless. Holy hell! Suck on that, Dad!
Would you just slap me with that arm?
Holy crap, it talks.
Yeah, sorry, it's just my, head kinda hurts. Hey, are you new to our squad? You're a little, short for a disassembly drone. I'm Serial Designation N. Nice to meet you. I'm kind of the leader of the squad in this city. That's not true. Everyone tells me I'm useless and terrible. Wait, I'm not supposed to tell you that part? Biscuits. Well, honesty is the best policy. I also can't seem to remember the past 3 hours of my life. Ah, but I'm sure
sure that'll sort itself out.
I have to go.
Stuck yourself? Just pop it in your mouth. Our saliva neutralizes the nanites. Otherwise, I'd be constantly disassembling myself.
And by our saliva, you mean
Disassembly
disassembly drone? Right. Hey, let's go in that landing pod over there.
Sure, I love doing anything. Sweet, I'm open to new things, I guess.
We are never talking about this.
Talking about what? Consider it, repressed.
You mentioned other members of her squad. Are they coming back soon?
Oh, yeah, 2 others. They're out hunting for a bit, but you'll love them. First, there's V.
No, please, stop beating my electros in front of my family!
And yet, I still feel nothing.
So, V, I heard this planet-wide toxic death storm is supposed to be especially inhospitable tonight.
Oh, God! Who are you?
No worries, I'm in, but a whole letter is a lot to remember. So, obviously a lot of mutual respect there, but secretly, I actually kind of have a crush on her. You can't tell her, okay? Then there's Jay, our leader.
And you're worthless and terrible. And if the company allowed it, I would straight up kill you myself.
Jay's awesome. Hey, let me give you the tour. Outside of the corpse wall thingies, and here are the buttons.
This isn't just a landing pod. This is a spaceship. This could get us off the planet.
More of a one-use missile. They never taught us how to land.
No, the worker drones, we could work with them to fix this. Instead of all the murder. Which, why are we doing that again?
Other than ingesting their warm, sweet oil to avoid overheating and dying? I guess I just want to be useful. I was given a job, and I always want to try my best.
And look at all the respect it's gotten you, Anne. You really think the company isn't going to dispose of you once all the workers are dead?
Oh my, you sure are rebellious. It's kind of exciting. But not as fun as, following the rules. Hey, they're back! You'll...
Idiot, get out here. Yo, we got a worker out there. I kind of want to practice balloon animal shapes with. What happened here?
Synergistic liability here must have tripped and knocked himself offline. Moron box, hello?
You really think the company isn't going to dispose of you once all the workers are dead? Like,
Oh. Oh! You know, I left an extremely dangerous weapon, an excuse outside.
I am out, boys.
Oh, gosh darn it. You're so
Wait
waiting.
until my lovely wife and kids hear about this.
Hey, fellas. Ooh, feel me in. I love running. Wait, no. I want to murder everyone. Break check.
puppy?
Hey, Lizzie. I just realized no one has said my name aloud so far, so I'm just letting you know I'm... Pretty nice hydraulics, huh? What have you done?
This time I won't miss.
I'm sorry. I really enjoyed our time together. But I can't have you shooting V with that thing.
Wait, Dad, get down.
Who's... You let a murder drone here? Unbelievable!
Now is so not the time. I messed up. In the same way I'm about to fix it. Move, Dad! Dad, point and shoot. Trust me.
Whoa, Ben. Am I dreaming or did you do something not useless for once?
I've been trying to get past those doors for months. Nice work, Ben.
You remember?
These ventilation shafts can easily get us around this last door. With Buddy Cow Pizza Missile! Way to go, stud.
The company's gonna love this. With this colony wiped, we'll make top team this quarter for sure. You know what that means. Branded
You know, not that I can't wait to keep murdering all these, maybe not so actually different from us burger drones, but just out of curiosity, do we actually, know what the company plans to do with us afterwards?
Stitch Fix makes shopping easy. Online personal styling for your size, style, and budget.
That was easy.
Your roommate just took up percussion. You need a job that gets you out of here.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do.
Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. Hungry Root is kind of like having your own personal shopper and nutritionist. They take care of the weekly groceries and recommend healthy, high-quality, nutritious food tailored to your taste, nutrition preferences, and
So far, so good.
great options for the whole family with healthy groceries like smoothies.
But we might have to cut the live short. I'm at 15% on this phone.
Hungry Root, thanks for always
So I might have to charge up and come back on live later, guys. So I'm going to end the live here. I'll see you guys in a couple hours, all right? Bye. Thank you guys for joining the live. Please subscribe.
Okay, so